I'm sorry for being late. I said 9:30. I got caught up, preoccupied. I was chopping a load of grass for my cows.
It happens.
Regular old farmer.
Yeah, something.
Right. I'm hitting the intro.
All right, hit it. Shazam. Hey, what's happening, everybody? Wade, I'm your host, Wade McDade, and I'm joined by the same two losers yet again, Nick and Adam. Our defending champ coming off of last week. Nick, welcome to the roundtable, brother. What's happening?
You know, I have been celebrating this victory all week, and I've been doing it in grand fashion. I just don't have anything to say about it. I have nothing. Move on to Adam.
You celebrated with an airplane ride from South Florida back to Pennsylvania for a wedding. That's a pretty good way to celebrate.
Yeah, congratulations to my cousin Chris and his new bride Stacy.
Wow.
They're going to be very happy together, I'm sure. Marriage is a wonderful thing. It doesn't make you miserable at all.
Poor choices and idiots. Adam, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. We were at the wedding. I was with Nick as well. And he bragged about this win last week to everyone all night long. He just couldn't. Yeah, he did. But we did get a lot of people trying to give us suggestions, which we appreciate. Of course, everyone's inebriated, including us, so we probably didn't remember any of them. So
you're saying you don't remember any of them? I mean, obviously you don't remember any of them.
No, I don't. There was one the next day. My brother-in-law Dan said best war movies that are most realistic war movies, which was a good one. So
it is a good one. We might have less in the top 10 though. That might be a stretch to get 10. I don't know.
That's what that could be tough. Yeah, that's true.
We could go NAM style and do a draft.
Yeah.
Too soon? I don't know if it's really too soon. It's just kind of messed up. That's all. So I'd like to remind all you listeners out there, you can find us and follow us. Search Kelly Digital on iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher. Did you
add? We also are going to have a website starting like tomorrow, kellydigitalpodcast.com.
Whoa,
sounds official.
I don't know if I'm quite ready for that type of growth. So when you went to the wedding, was there a lot of people there that you guys talked to that actually tune in and listen every week?
Actually, yeah. That must be where everyone's at. But there were a lot, actually.
Yeah.
And then there were some new people that we forced to download the app and download our show. So hopefully we get more after that.
They haven't talked to you since.
No, probably won't either.
And I'm not saying I stole their phone and wrote reviews for us, but if I didn't steal your phone and write a review, feel free to do that at iTunes.
There you go.
We're going to jump into the topic tonight. The topic for this week is the top 10 actors. Top 10 actors of all time. Nixon, coming off a win, you have an opportunity to either introduce first or pass the buck to Adam. You can right now introduce your 10 on your list. Go ahead.
All right, coming in at number 10, Ben Affleck. After that, Charlie Chaplin, Ryan Reynolds, Jeremy Piven. Now we get into the real meat of the order. You got Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves, Gary Busey, Jeff Goldblum, Michael Keaton, and coming in at number 1, Gary Johnston.
Okay, Adam, Your turn. Let's hear them.
Okay, my 10 is not quite that entertaining, I guess. Tom Hanks, Christian Bale, Daniel Day-Lewis, Clint Eastwood, Robert Downey Jr., Morgan Freeman, Leonardo DiCaprio, Emilio Estevez,
Emilio!
Billy Bob Thornton, and Robert De Niro.
All right, so we have 20 different actors, which is surprising to me. I thought for sure that there'd be at least a couple of ones that you guys would agree on. But then after hearing Nick's list, I'm not surprised that there were no matches.
I took it serious.
I took it serious.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm looking for the argument. Here's the thing. This is what I'll say to everybody. The last couple of weeks, looking at the list beforehand at face value, I never thought that some of them you had a chance with, Nick. It's all about the argument. The thing that you're bringing to the table is not nearly as important as the ammunition that you bring with it. So with that being said, Nick, you have the option right now, coming off a win last week. You can either present one first, or you can defer and let Adam bring one to the table first.
Well, Adam, go ahead.
Okay, I will go first then.
All right.
It's an interesting decision. Interesting decision. Go ahead.
Well, I will go with my number one, Tom Hanks. I think he's the biggest actor as far as in our lifetimes. I mean, he was in A League of Their Own. Forrest Gump, he won an Oscar. Philadelphia, he won an Oscar. He's in Toy Story, a cartoon. The Green Mile, Castaway. I mean, in the movie Castaway, you want to talk about a great actor. His transformation from like a regular kind of portly guy to this like island desert guy, all skinny, hairy. And basically the only actor with him in the movie for the vast majority was a fucking volleyball, and it was still a good movie. That's pretty impressive. He can pretty much act his way around Hollywood.
All right. Yeah. Tom Hanks, he's a quality actor, but he is not the legend that Charlie Chaplin is. Charlie Chaplin cut his teeth in the silent film era and was actually able to produce, very quality movies at a very early time when they didn't even have the ability to have dialogue in the movie. He's considered a comedic genius for what he did in film at such an early time. And then once dialogue actually got added to the movies, Charlie Chaplin went on to also star in one of the greatest movies of all time, The Great Dictator, in which when there was a faction of Hollywood people that were Nazi sympathizers and too scared to go after the Germans, Charlie Chaplin said, "Fuck that," and made a complete mockery of Hitler in like 1933. And in that movie, he gave the greatest monologue in any movie to date. Like, seriously, if you have not seen the monologue in The Great Dictator, do yourself a favor and Google it on YouTube or whatever. It's fantastic.
Adam, why should Tom Hanks win instead of Charlie Chaplin?
Okay, this is why. I've watched a million movies, 0 Charlie Chaplin movies. I mean, the guy had his heyday literally 90 years ago. Just like Nick said, hey, it's great if you can act with no, speaking lines. That's great. But let's face it, he wouldn't make it. His movies wouldn't be hits now. I mean, they just wouldn't. We've evolved as people, and Tom Hanks is our leader in life, basically. He was Forrest Gump, for God's sakes.
Yeah, it's the only time he didn't seem like Tom Hanks.
Yeah, in Philadelphia, he was not. Yeah, in Philadelphia, he played a gay guy with AIDS. I don't think that would be the person I think of when I think of Tom Hanks.
Really?
Did win an Oscar for that.
Who I think of.
A gay guy with AIDS.
He's basically every movie he's in, he's Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is Tom Hanks in this Tom Hanks movie where we go to the moon this time. Tom Hanks is Tom Hanks in a toy store. Like, he doesn't really have the range that these great actors have. Like, you know, I would be a little worried if you led with Daniel Day-Lewis, because that's an actor with a little bit of range.
There you go. Talk my guy up.
And you talk about the fact that, like, well, all these movies I've seen, not one of them was a Charlie Chaplin movie. That just means you haven't watched enough movies, and that also means that all those movies that you've seen, well, the reason why they exist is because of people like Charlie Chaplin. He was so good that the American people actually bought into Hollywood, and he didn't even need dialogue to do it. Granted, once he was able to add dialogue, he was able to change it up and, again, continue to put out a quality product. You know, he's more versatile. He's a comedic legend, and he is one of the main foundations that Hollywood is built on.
Okay, Tom Hanks as
Tom Hanks.
Yeah, Tom Hanks has played serious roles. He's played funny roles. I mean, the guy was in Big. That's a funny movie. It's a funny concept. You can't say he's playing himself. He's playing a kid trapped in an adult's body. No, you can't be that. You can't be that and a guy with AIDS who's gay.
There's a lot of
you can't. That's not Tom Hanks. Is my point.
There's a lot of people
Turner
out there who think they're a kid in a child's body with gay AIDS.
I don't know about that. Did he have gay AIDS whenever he played the detective in Turner and Hooch? I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
I don't know. They didn't delve into that part of his personality. It was just between his relationship with his dog.
He was getting trim, and he basically got trim in every movie except even Castaway. He was trapped on an island and he got trim.
Yeah, because he fucked a volleyball. Anybody could do that.
Yeah, but then he banged that broad that he used to bang.
No, he didn't. She turned him down.
Yeah, right. She was soaking wet with her Hooters all covered in that white T-shirt. You don't remember that scene? Come on. But anyways, so Charlie Chaplin can't even name a single movie he's in. Can't even name a single line because the guy barely had lines. But he was hilarious. You know who else was hilarious? The Three Stooges. I didn't put any of them on my list as greatest actors. Maybe I should have. But they are awesome. They're better than Charlie Chaplin, too.
All right.
There is no doubt that Charlie Chaplin was one of the forefathers that brought us to the point that we're right now. There's also no arguing the fact that Tom Hanks is a living legend in terms of his acting roles in our generation. The winner of round one goes to the one of these two actors that could actually speak, even if it's to a volleyball. Adam and Tom Hanks.
That's bullshit. One. Tell me a monologue that Tom Hanks had that matches The Great Dictator. There is none. Because the monologue is a dead art.
Because no one's ever heard The Great Dictator.
Well, you should watch it.
Yeah. If I was 100 years old right now, yeah. If our audience of this podcast was $120 their age, yeah, they would have heard that.
Nick, first off, you're a sore loser. Secondly, you get to
bring. I might be a sore loser, but I'm not a bad judge. All right. So for this one, I'm actually going to the theater for this one. And I just want you to realize this guy, he took to the stage, and I believe it was Rent, and he captured the hearts of everybody in that theater. He was so good that he actually convinced the CIA to bring them into the fold. And I'm talking about Gary Johnston.
I didn't even know who the fuck that was until right now.
This guy was such a good actor that the CIA realized he would make a fantastic spy, and he helped. He was actually very instrumental in us catching Osama bin Laden, and he also helped relations with North Korea. What did your guy do?
Well, why don't you tell everyone what movie he's from?
He was from the theater.
Yeah, but where did his story come to the forefront of the American people?
What documentary? Well, of course, I get most of my research from this character from the documentary Team America World Police.
Oh, God. Oh, my gosh. I feel like I need to take it easy on you on this one. But that is, I mean, I see where you're coming from. I'm not sure if that's the line I was following whenever I got the rules to this particular topic. But, oh, shit. Well, I will go against you with, man, I have so many good ones, it's hard not to. Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay. Leonardo DiCaprio, obviously, everyone knows him from a lot of his more recent movies, like The Departed, The Aviator, Titanic, or Wolf of Wall Street. But his best acting performance was What's Eating Gilbert Grape, where he played down. I don't know what's politically correct to say, Down syndrome young person. Wait, what was that?
He was mentally challenged.
There you go. He was mentally challenged, and if anyone hasn't seen this movie, it's actually very impressive. Like, he was a kid then, and I wasn't really familiar with him whenever I saw that movie originally. And if I would have guessed, I would have said, "Oh yeah, he's a retard." In real life, I mean,
you can't say that word.
I mean, mentally challenged in real life. I thought he was like, playing himself. Like, it was incredible. But look how he's evolved. First off, he did win an Oscar, finally. He's been nominated a lot. He did win an Oscar, but he has been in great movies, and he gets so much pussy that it's fucking crazy. And you guys all know that. And that's pretty much when you know someone's a great actor. Whenever they get the best of the best, that's
It's funny you bring that up, because I don't know if you saw the documentary that I saw, but Gary Johnston not only got the pussy, he got every orifice that girl had to offer.
He also got the blow it, dude.
Sometimes to save America, sometimes you got to take that shot in the mouth.
Okay, there's going to be a lot of people that don't really know what you're talking about.
He saved America.
Okay.
He literally saved America.
Time out. Serious question. I need you to clarify what the fuck you're talking about and who this guy is, because I have no idea what you're actually talking about and who this actor.
Gary Johnston was an actor that he cut his teeth on Broadway, and he was discovered by the CIA, and he was really recognized for his talents as an actor. And what they wanted him to do was to go undercover and bust up a terrorist organization. They figured getting a good actor was the way to do it. And he was actually able to go in there, get the intel that he needed. They were able to blow up their fortification because of his intel. And then he also stopped Kim Jong-il from blowing up the world.
Okay, let me explain this, because Quaid still looks a little confused. So there was a movie called Team America, which Nick's calling a documentary.
Jeez, Nick.
And the guy, one of the main characters in the movie, who is not an actor, what I would call, he's a fucking puppet in a cartoon movie, was the guy that Nick is nominating for this argument.
Look, he outacted Alec Baldwin, who is widely considered the greatest actor of all time.
Yeah, puppet Alec Baldwin, not real Alec Baldwin.
Nick,
Also, yeah,
did you put any consideration into Buzz Lightyear on your list?
Buzz Lightyear wasn't an actor. He was a toy.
Just as much.
Oh, this should be under our top 10 characters show.
Yeah.
So are you saying he's not an actor?
He's not an actor.
So does that mean I'm disqualified?
He's a puppet.
I mean, round 2. That's what it means. Congratulations. You've won the first 2 rounds.
Jeez, this is going to be a landslide.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, Gary Johnson was not an actual actor. So, Nick, you lose. Adam, you get to present your 3rd round. Go ahead.
Gary Johnson wasn't even a human.
I feel like I didn't get a chance to argue my point, but that's all right. I'll make it up.
Whoa.
Yeah, if you have an argument, I'd be curious to hear it.
I'm not saying we're going to listen to the argument, but I'm going to ask a question. Was your argument going to solidify the fact that he was actually a human being?
No. Was that important?
Well, that's what an actor.
Are we being discriminatory?
I guess not. Go ahead. If you have an argument that you feel like you need to bring to the table, go ahead.
I feel that we're talking about people that pretend to be stuff on the silver screen, and it doesn't really change anyone's lives, whereas Gary Johnson saved America twice.
Okay. That being said, I do have a decision now.
Okay.
And Adam, you still win round 2. We're moving along, boys. Adam, please introduce your next one and make it a real person, please.
Oh, goodness. Jeez, Nick, you're making this tough on me. Not really. All right. My next one will be Robert De Niro. So Robert De Niro, he starred in some of my favorite movies. I don't like the guy personally, but his acting and what he's done is really impressive. He was in Goodfellas, which is one of my favorite movies. I know it's one of Nick's favorite movies. He was in Casino. He played a crazy person, a taxi driver. He was in Godfather 2, which he won an Oscar for. He was also a nut in Cape Fear. He played a boxer in Raging Bull, won an Oscar for that, and also played a Vietnam vet in The Deer Hunter. And I mean, he has a list of his like Oscar nominations. I mean, if we're just talking about pure stats, I mean, it's impressive. And when you look at his wide range of characters, I mean, he plays, troubled Vietnam vet. He plays, a true story about Jake LaMotta, but a boxer where he had to get in shape and actually look like a boxer and be kind of that character. And he could also be a cool customer like he was in The Godfather 2. He's got a real resume on him. So
not forget about his role career from Meet the Fockers.
And Meet the Fockers. That's true.
Yeah, that
Nick,
took real acting chops right there. Meet the Fockers. Let me tell you, that was right up there with Analyze That. Real yikes. Okay, so boy, how do I beat this lightweight? We'll go ahead and say, all right. There you go. Michael Keaton, the greatest actor of all time. Michael Keaton is a badass, man. He is the best Batman. Hands down. The best Batman. That already gets him 3 stars right there. And beyond that, I don't know if you've seen The Founder, but that's like a legitimately good movie that he starred in. about McDonald's and how much
Oh, no, I haven't seen
Nick,
it.
the founder, was? No, it's freaking great. And he's also had a bit of a resurgence. I mean, he was Oscar nominated for Birdman, just, what was that, 2016, which was also a very good movie. A little artsy for my taste, but still, he did a great job in it. And he's also known for classics in the past, like Multiplicity, Mr. Mom, Beetlejuice. I mean, come on. The dude is Beetlejuice. He's Beetlejuice and he's Batman. No, he's Michael Keaton. Did you know, fun fact, his real name is actually Michael Douglas? He had to change it because there already was Michael Douglas.
I didn't know that.
So he put the name Keaton on the map because that Keaton is for real.
Well, that's the most interesting thing.
And he didn't make no bullshit like The Intern with Anne Hathaway. Can't say the same about Robert De Niro.
Yeah, but did you ever watch that movie? It was stellar. Exactly. You missed out on a real gem. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of an argument against your boy. Michael Keaton, I mean, he's a Pittsburgh guy. You know, I love him because he's from here. But whenever he's out in his heyday, and I think about the 80s, I think about early 90s, when he hit most of his movies, when he was really relevant. I mean, he wasn't even the best actor, even close to being the best actor of that little generation. And it was Tom Hanks. I mean, Tom Hanks is way better than him, too. Tom Hanks was a superstar. Michael Keaton, yeah, he had some good roles. But, I mean, he doesn't touch Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro, I mean, he's had them all.
No, Robert De Niro had gangster movies, and then he had the movies where he just got a paycheck.
No, that's not true at all. Taxi Cab Driver is not a gangster movie. Raging Bull is not a gangster movie. Cape Fear is not a gangster movie.
Yeah, Cape Fear, he kind of still has a bit of a gangster attitude. Same thing with Raging Bull. I mean, it's still like the same. It might not be a gangster, it might not be a mafioso, but it's still like still in the same vein. You could see that dude boxing and then going and being Jimmy Conway.
Sure, I suppose.
But whereas, like,
no, actually,
Michael
I don't
Keaton,
really see the Jimmy Conway. I mean, that's like decade. You know, it's like, you know, it looks like he's an old man in Goodfellas. You know, he's playing a completely different type of role than like a Raging Bull or the Deer Hunter. I mean, that's when he's a young guy. He's playing like these somewhat troubled characters, you know, that's going on in real life. Like Raging Bull's about a real person, but the Deer Hunter's about like what guys were going through, coming back from Vietnam and stuff like that. So
I gotta say, Deer Hunter, I know a lot of people love it.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit overrated.
Well, there's just back in that time frame of movies, they had, if you watch a lot of them, I'm not saying just Deer Hunter, but like that's just how those movies were back in those days. Like they really did have like, some of them had like it's kind of like that movie we watched recently, The Three Billboards. Like the endings weren't really like there, but at the time, that's the way the movies were made. It's kind of like now everything's action or if it's superheroes. I mean, in 20 years, people say, geez, they didn't have like any plot. You know, they just had a bunch of guys flying around in their pajamas, you know?
Right.
So I just think at the time, he was in the best of the movies. Like, I mean, The Godfather, Godfather 2. Godfather 2 was a sequel that was better than the first one. And it was mostly, I don't want to say mostly because it was a great movie, but he had a large role, like a large part in that. You know, he won an Oscar for that.
That part of the movie was kind of boring. Really, the best part of Godfather 2 was the Michael's story. It wasn't even Robert De Niro's story. It's just that was kind of the filler. Really, if you cut that part out of the movie, that movie would still be good. You can't say the same about Al Pacino's part.
I don't know, man. I don't agree with that. I love The Godfather, and I love it because of that exact thing. They delve back into like the past, which is the key part of.
Like I said, it's cool because it works well with the movie, but you could take that out and still have a good movie. To whereas if you just made the movie on the past, it wouldn't be a good movie.
No,
But
you would just make Godfather 3, which isn't a good movie.
My decision is
Hold on. What's that? Go ahead.
my decision has been made.
Wait, I didn't make a. I'm not done with my argument. You're fucking crushing me today, Quaid.
Go ahead.
Shit. When you get to Michael Keaton, I didn't.
Robert, for 5 minutes, I'm going to take a piss. Keep talking.
I'm not going to argue my point while the judge is pissing.
I literally just spit water all over myself. I'm gonna take a wild guess and pick who that he's gonna pick me in this argument. He's not even listening to yours.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh my god! I literally just like spit water all over myself.
You paid him, didn't you?
He's like, "Yeah, go ahead and make your argument. I'm gonna take a piss."
Yeah. This is such bullshit.
Oh man, did you ever see My Life with Michael Keaton?
I was trying to bring it up until the judge cut me off.
That's like a I don't know what it would be like now watching it, but like as a kid, that was like not as a kid, but there's a younger. Yeah, I guess I was a kid. Like that was like traumatic movie, and it's not so much like just him, but that storyline. Thinking about that, like if you become a father and then you're put in a situation where like you're, oh my gosh, like that movie is like the guy who wrote that is like he's lived through some dark stuff.
Oh yeah, for real.
So right, Nick made his argument. Nick made his argument. Quaid, what do you think? No, I'm just kidding.
I think. Go ahead.
I think when you look at actual versatility as an actor, Michael Keaton far exceeds Robert De Niro. Whereas Michael Keaton, you want to talk about going into the comedic roles like a Beetlejuice or Multiplicity, where he played the straight man, the comedic man, and the half mentally challenged man all in the same movie. Mr. Mom was quality. I mean, that's 80s staple right there. And then he was able to go into the superhero roles. He made the superhero role cool. He was the first one to do that. Nobody gave a shit about Christopher Reeves. It was all about Michael Keaton and Batman. That was the fucking cool ass superhero. And you want to talk about his heyday? Shit, he's having a second heyday now. To whereas Robert De Niro's making The Intern with Anne Hathaway. And then, he also made us cry with My Life, as we discussed.
Okay.
It's sad.
So here's the deal. My decision did not change. My decision was made prior to that argument, but I do appreciate your input, Nick. I think that it'd be hard to argue that Robert De Niro is a great actor. I think it would also be hard to argue that Michael Keaton is a great actor. They're both great actors. I think that one of you did a much better job of painting the picture that you wanted to paint, and it had nothing to do with that final argument that you had, Nick. However, with that being said, you did take it a little bit farther than you had earlier. My mind was already made up, and you basically slammed it home, talking about how diverse Michael Keaton has been in his roles compared to Robert De Niro. He has played, the examples that you get, Beetlejuice, Multiplicity, and Batman. Those are three very different roles. Multiplicity is a forgotten, unsung hero of a movie.
That really is a great movie.
Every time I watch it. Robert De Niro has some great movies. They are a lot along the same lines of one another, with the exception of, Meet the Fockers and stuff like that. A lot of them are gangster roles, and he does a great job at it just because I think it's natural to him. The winner of round 3 is Nick and Multiplicity. My favorite line, I'm sorry, Michael Keaton. And my favorite line of Multiplicity is when the one mentally challenged Michael Keaton says, "She touched my pee-pee, Steve."
It's funny. I've never seen that movie.
Oh, it's great. That is a quality movie.
You need to watch it. It's actually a really good movie. So, Nick, you win round 3. 2 for Adam, 1 for Nick.
I'm back in it.
You're back in it, and you also get to bring the thunder and introduce the next round. What do you have?
All right. Well, I am going to bring the baddest badass of all time to the argument. And of course, I'm talking about Keanu Reeves. Okay, first we got to introduce Keanu Reeves as this possibly stoner high school flunky who got to go back in time with his friend and learn that he was going to start the greatest rock band of all time in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. And then we got, their bogus journey as well. And we're also getting a third one, which I am totally stoked for. Excellent. And then he started becoming the action star that we got to love, as Johnny Utah in the amazing movie Point Break. And then he was also in Speed, which was a straight up 90s classic. Everybody knows Speed. They know the 55 miles an hour. That was the movie that introduced Sandra Bullock to the world. He freaking, pop quiz, asshole. You got a hairpin trigger aimed at your head. What do? Everybody remembers those good times. The Matrix, which everybody loves. John Wick, which is considered like the greatest action movie made since the freaking Terminator. I mean, this dude is a legit badass.
You don't want to talk about The Replacements at all?
And of course I want to talk about The Replacements. I was saving that for my rebuttal points.
Adam,
what do you got against that?
It's tough to go against Johnny Utah. I'll say that to start. But I'll do it with Billy Bob Thornton. Now, at first, when people think of Billy Bob Thornton, they think of his more recent work, which I love as well, like Bad Santa and Bad Santa 2. Great movies. I mean, he plays a drunk, and he makes it seem like he's probably a drunk in real life because he's such a good actor. But the movies are really funny. He can be funny and be a drunk at the same time. But he's been in some pretty big movies where he was critically acclaimed for his actual acting roles, like Monsters Ball, Friday Night Lights, and of course Sling Blade. So Sling Blade, he plays like I don't know how to explain these people. Just people who are different.
You know what? I'm noticing a trend here. I'm really noticing a trend. Do you have anybody on your list that did not play a mentally challenged guy?
I'll make a quote from another one of my characters. One of my guys was Robert Downey Jr., and he was in Tropic Thunder, and he said, "You never go full retard." And these guys didn't. They set the tone for that, basically. And he was nominated for an Oscar for that role in Sling Blade, and he actually was one of the writers of the movie, and he actually got an Oscar on the writing end. So that's impressive. But I guess he had this like wild lifestyle that I think people like didn't really take him too seriously. He's running around with Angelina Jolie's blood hanging around a vow on his neck. But in reality, the guy's like a really amazing actor. And I think that he beats John Wick what's that guy's name? Keanu Reeves out easily. I mean, Keanu Reeves was in Bill and Ted. Your big argument opener was Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures,
which is an amazing movie.
I don't know about that.
That movie stands up, man. That is a funny movie.
When's the last time you watched it?
Yesterday.
He probably did prepping for the show.
No, see, here's the thing about like Billy Bob Thornton's performance in Monsters Ball. It was basically the same performance as Bad Santa, but it didn't have the goofy soundtrack behind it to make you know that it's time to laugh. It was just a sad, depressing drunk banging some whores.
I think your argument for like all my people just playing the same roles could be said about Keanu Reeves. He's like just like Bill and Ted, and then he became an FBI agent, and then he
Yeah, an FBI
transformed
agent.
into an LAPD detective, bomb squad
Look,
guy.
An
And
FBI.
he's just Bill and he's
No,
still Bill or Ted or whatever his name was.
Look,
Why do you think
Ted-
Johnny Utah fit in so well? Because he was
Ted
the
Theodore
stoner of Bill and
Logan.
Ted.
Ted Theodore Logan could never be confused as an FBI agent. All right.
That's why he's so good undercover.
No. Let's see. He would never be able to be. Here's a fun fact.
Here we go with this again.
Johnny Utah, and what was his name in the replacements? Quaid?
I don't know.
They were both Ohio State quarterbacks.
Dude loves Ohio State. You know, okay, think about his career progression. He played Bill and Ted. He played an FBI agent who pretended to be Bill and Ted to fit in with some surfers, basically.
But he wasn't. He had layers.
Really.
He had layers as a.
I don't know about that. I mean, look, we all know Point Break was a great movie. It was overall a great movie. You're not going to argue with that. And I wouldn't either. That would be crazy. Okay, that would be crazy to say that. But we would never do that because we know.
Yeah,
But we're not talking about great movies because we know that one's. If we did top 10 movies of all time, it would be number one, obviously.
Absolutely.
But Keanu Reeves, although he played in a great movie, you know, it wasn't just him. You know, there was a cast of guys who are legends in that movie, and they played epic roles. But I mean, he just, you know, he's not blowing anyone's hair back with his diversity and his acting skills. That movie, don't get me wrong, I don't want to say anything bad about it because that movie in particular is amazing. I mean, you can say it, Nick.
No, you can't say it. I hate the movie so much. I hate it so much. And you guys somehow, some way, bring it up every single week. And I can't stand it. So here's my decision. Also, I think that Keanu Reeves is one of the worst actors ever. Like, maybe the worst actor of all time. He's terrible. He's a great person. He does great things with his life. He's a fucking terrible actor. Here's my decision for this round. It's null and void. Doesn't exist. Didn't happen. Nobody wins this round. I'm big X through Keanu Reeves and Billy Bob Thornton. And don't talk about Point Break anymore because I fucking hate that movie.
Dude, I'm sweating so bad right now.
Patrick Swayze on your list. Don't you dare bring him up. Nick, you present the next one. That round didn't happen. We're going to pretend like it didn't happen. Keanu Reeves and Billy Bob Thornton are off the list completely.
What did Billy Bob do wrong?
Bad. I feel bad I'm doing this to Billy Bob Thornton because he's actually good like him. But I'm so irritated. I'm so irritated with the Point Break. I'm gonna deal with it. So we're moving on. Nick, don't dare say Patrick Swayze or I will be pissed.
Okay. All right. Okay, Quaid. So,
Point Break is such a stupid movie. You know that. There's no way that either one of you would actually believe that it's an enjoyable movie to watch. It's the worst movie ever with some of the worst actors ever. I don't even know what it's doing. It doesn't even make sense to me.
My head is so sweaty right now.
Oh, all right.
So
Nick,
you can't use Bodie, Nick.
All right.
Well, you can, but it's not going to go over well. I'm telling you that right now.
All right. I won't use Bodie. So
I'm looking at your list, though. Where else are you going to go? Gary Busey? Holy
Yep.
shit.
Oh man, I know one movie that he was good in, but I don't know about the rest of them.
dude, he was fantastic in Point Break. The rest of his acting, I don't really know about, but Point Break.
Was he actually in Point?
Yeah, he was Johnny Utah's. He was Johnny Utah's partner.
You just have like the whole entire Point Break. You have a cartoon character and Ben Affleck. That's
Ben Affleck's definitely a joke.
Yeah, I meant the other ones.
I would like to see an argument between Keanu Reeves and Ben Affleck to see who is the worst actor of those two.
Yeah, like worst actor of all time. Oh man.
So back to Gary Busey, dude.
Is that who you're bringing it up right now? That's who you're bringing up.
Boy, you just said Ben Affleck is the worst actor of all time.
Whew.
All right, dude, go ahead with your Busey arguments.
Okay. So look, everybody.
Point Break for real.
I can't not use his biggest acting accomplishment.
That's probably his only role that I can tell you about.
All right, you know what? I'll go Jeff Goldblum. Does that make you happy, Quaid?
I guess I've never heard of her before.
All right. So Jeff Goldblum is the second greatest actor of all time.
Behind.
Michael Keaton.
I thought you were going to say Keanu Reeves. I'm beginning to think you didn't take this seriously. Oh shit!
So Jeff Goldblum, he's a legitimate actor, also from Pittsburgh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was in The Fly, which was a repulsive sci-fi horror movie that used practical effects to the nines, and he was a half-fly mutant monster that still fucked Gina Davis in her heyday. So there, kudos to that.
As The Fly, you did. I haven't seen that movie in like.
Yeah, as The Fly.
She was willing.
Yeah, willing and able, and then she gave birth to his baby. That was a maggot. Really gross. It was the most disgusting scene I've ever seen in any movie.
I don't know where we're going here.
It happened.
And then he played the role in Jurassic Park as the professor that knew what was up. He was also in Independence Day as the dude that knew what was up. This dude
knew what was up.
He knew what was up. I'll build my rebuttal. I was really going to argue Patrick Swayze in this place, but I wasn't allowed.
Oh man. Oh yeah. So I better bring someone up. So I guess what I would go with is a serious actor, a very serious actor, Daniel Day-Lewis. So Daniel Day-Lewis is another guy, Oscars out the ass. He was in There Will Be Blood, Gangs of New York, My Left Foot. Those are his Oscar-winning performances. If anyone's ever watched There Will Be Blood, he's just like unbelievable, his range. And I mean, Lincoln as well. Sorry. But I mean, when you go from that character in There Will Be Blood to Lincoln, it's like so drastic. You know, that guy can act. I mean, we could say these guys kind of seem like they're playing similar roles. This guy is different people, you know, in every role. I think he spends years getting, like, he's not taking movies like Robert De Niro in more recent years, taking a bunch of money movies. I mean, he's taking movies and he's putting like 2 years into like creating it. He stays Abraham Lincoln on set and makes everyone talk to him like he's Abraham Lincoln. And this guy takes it very seriously. I mean, he wasn't in Point Break, his one downfall. But other than that, he is a star-studded. He has star-studded roles. So, what's your rebuttal, Nick?
Well, to start, he wasn't in Point Break.
Admittedly, I understand where you're coming from with that,
Right.
but I can't do anything about it.
Jeff Goldblum, he was in Jurassic Park and Jurassic World.
Okay.
And he was in The Fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he get any Oscars for this? I'm not sure. I don't have my Google up. I would imagine.
Okay. If the Oscar is so
Yeah.
important, tell me what the last two Pitcher of the Years were.
I can't think of it off the top of my head. I don't have that great of memory though.
That's the biggest Oscar there is the Pitcher of the Year.
Yeah, I know.
Because they just give those awards out to whoever.
I don't know about that. I mean, the guy played Abraham Lincoln so well that he won an Oscar. Was the best lead actor that year. It's pretty impressive. I mean, playing a guy like that, you know, that takes you back. Oh shit. But
to say,
yeah, okay. I think what people really are forgetting here is The Fly was just a masterpiece.
Wait, whose movie was that? Like, was that Steve? Was that like anyone? Like, was there like what was that? Like, I mean, I know the story kind of, but was it like I don't want to say Stephen King, but like, was it like something like that? Someone wrote it like that?
No, it was actually a remake from like a 1950s movie.
Okay,
and it got the 80s reboot, and it was great because like it talked about like the whole thing of the movie was.
Like, you didn't think that movie was that good though.
Oh, it was great, but you know,
come on,
maybe you guys think differently.
I think so. Like, he can. Never mind. I was gonna say something.
You remember when he puked on the dude's arm and just like ate it? It's disgusting.
Yeah,
awesome.
I just don't think that's really amazing acting when you're just like a fly.
Do you know how to act like a fly? You want to talk about?
I think I would just fly around and keep banging up against a window all day long. But he's like a human-sized fly. If that's his like money role, that's not very good in comparison to like
dude,
my left foot.
It wasn't. Look, my left foot. His left foot fell off because he was turning into a fly, and his body parts are falling off. He could no longer eat his food. He had to, with a straight face, throw up on a donut and suck the vomit back up because that's how flies eat.
Well, I mean, that's like, you know what that kind of reminds me of, like like a girl who like does porn or something, and she does it. You know, she doesn't like. No, I don't want to say all of them, but like she really doesn't want to do this, but she's doing it for a paycheck. That's why I feel like Jeff Goldblum's taking roles like The Fly. Like, he's just trying to pay the bills. You know what I mean? And it's not for like his acting credentials. Like, that movie's terrible.
The Fly stands up. The Fly stands up, man. That is
Everything stands up.
movie. That is a very good movie.
I don't think so. That movie's dumb. Have you ever seen it, Quaid?
Yeah, it's terrible. It's right up there as almost as terrible as Nick's list tonight.
Nick pulling 3 people from Point Break. That's epic. But you had 0 from Young Guns. I was confused.
Yeah.
Also, Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Well, I thought Emilio would pop up on your list as he did.
Yeah, he did.
I'm surprised neither one of you had Denzel Washington or Michael Myers.
Did you roll on this one?
Yeah, I think everybody already has. I mean, I can make it official if that's what you need. Daniel Day-Lewis and Adam, you win. It's no contest with Jeff Goldblum from the Fly movie. You fucking idiot, Nick.
Oh, shit.
Well, I disagree.
That means, well, first off, I don't care. That means, Adam, you win. You win 3, and Nick, you won 1. So, Adam, you have Tom Hanks, Leonardo DiCaprio, Day-Lewis. Nick, you had Michael Keaton. We threw out Keanu Reeves and Billy Bob Thornton. I apologize to Billy Bob. Strictly based off of my hatred for Keanu Reeves, Nick, and Point Break.
Nick is in there as well.
So Adam wins the game tonight, but we still only have a top 4, and we need to get to our final top 5. So we do need to bring up one more each. And Adam, you're going to get to introduce the next one first. The overall game is already finished and decided. Adam will win. However, to save a little face, Nick can argue for Gary Busey or whoever.
Okay. I'll bring up. Well, I'll say Morgan Freeman. Now, Morgan Freeman has been in a lot of movies, but some of his some of the roles he's played have been really good. Like he played a one-eyed, basically old boxer who works at a gym in $1 Million Baby, which was a really good role. I don't know if you ever saw that. That was a really good acting job. It wasn't his typical role, because a lot of people look at him as the God role from Bruce Almighty, I think, in a lot of his more recent roles. But he played this older guy who was beat up, and he was just really good in that movie. He won an Oscar for that. He was also in The Shawshank Redemption, which is maybe one of the greatest movies of all time. And, I mean, of course, he was in Seven, Bruce Almighty, Driving Miss Daisy, which was a long time ago, but he did get nominated for an Oscar in that movie. So, I mean, he's obviously has a wide range of things that he's done in his career. Now he's getting old. He's taking a lot of paydays, which it looks like this is what all these guys do. Not saying that all the new, more recent movies are bad, but he's done some amazing work over the years. Now he's done some more mainstream kind of pop type of movies now, but he still shows his acting chops. Got a wide range of abilities, so that's why I pick Morgan Freeman.
All right.
Okay. You know who actually has a pretty decent wide range of acting chops is Ben Affleck. Everyone's going to laugh at that. Ooh, Ben Affleck. But you know what? He was the bomb in Phantoms. And then you also got Argo, which he wrote and directed and was a great movie. Quaid literally just got up and walked out.
Well, he recently said that he's the worst actor of all time, so I don't think he cares to hear this argument.
But Argo was a great movie. The Town was also very well done and very interesting to watch. But the thing is, Ben Affleck, he could go from
good movie.
Yeah, The Town was a good movie.
Ben Affleck, but it's in general.
I think he directed that one too. So yes, it was largely due to Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck could go from being the heartthrob character in a chick flick to a serious role to action star. I mean, and you know what? His Batman was actually a very solid Batman. I would say I would put that number 2 in the Batman category.
You don't think Christian Bale was a better Batman?
No, Christian Bale is a great Bruce Wayne, but his Batman was extremely obnoxious with the Batman voice.
I felt like, yeah, but I felt like Matt Damon, or what's his name, Ben Affleck, was like so cringy as the Batman, like so cringy.
Oh, I thought he was great. Plus, he was the first Batman that would kill people. It was just, it was a very, to me, it was a very.
Well, that's the character,
and as a full character, Batman and Bruce Wayne, he put it together better than everyone except Michael Keaton.
I don't know, man. I didn't like him as a Batman, and like you're talking about character, the writing of the character, like him killing people and doing things, but that's just the writers that put that together. Anyone could act that. I just think his acting was oof. And then he was in Geely or whatever that movie was called with Jennifer. It was maybe one of the worst movies of all time.
Geely was terrible, but he's not afraid to take risk. He was also in Chasing Amy, which was just an amazing movie. That was Kevin Smith's crown jewel of movies, was Chasing Amy.
But it wasn't because of him.
I disagree. He did a very good job in that movie. And also Good Will Hunting, which he helped write and was a great movie.
See, I think that was his pinnacle, and it was all downhill from Good Will Hunting. And I don't like Matt Damon either, but it wasn't because Ben Affleck in that movie. He played himself. Matt Damon was the star of the show and was the reason everyone loved that movie. That and Robin Williams. Those are that character relationship was way better. Affleck was just like, yeah, he wrote the movie, or he was part of writing the movie, but this isn't best writer of movies,
right?
So.
But Good Will Hunting does go into his versatility as an actor. I believe. I think like him being able to be that supporting role and play that dude from Boston, that
play himself. The dirtbag from Boston.
Yeah,
I bet you that was a stretch for him. But I mean, Morgan Freeman's played like a wide range of characters. Like it hasn't been just like dumb. Like Ben Affleck wants to be a heartthrob. Like in a lot of these movies, like he wants to be the stud of the movie. And guess what? He's a fucking douchebag. No one likes him.
I agree. Yeah, but he plays the heartthrob, but then he'll turn around and play the action man, the action hero, like he did in The Town, or what was the other one that he was in? He was in a bunch, but I mean,
you know what? I don't think I've ever seen The Town. Now that I think about it, I was confusing that with some other movie. I've never seen
The Town
movie. The Town.
Yeah, Town's a very good movie. He also, The Accountant is another one where he was the action star.
Come on. That movie was so bad, dude. He played an autistic hitman accountant. I mean, first off, who the fuck thinks of this shit? Second off, he pulled it off. So that means he's a terrible actor because that's a terrible story. The movie is awful. But that's like second behind. Yeah, because I'm saying he pulled it off because he's autistic.
So when they're mentally challenged, it's okay for you.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like he can play that role.
So this is what I think. I think that Ben Affleck is a great writer, a good writer and a good producer, terrible actor. I think that Morgan is obviously an amazing actor. Adam, you win this round also.
Oh shit! Who else do you have in your list, Nick? What other ones did you have left?
I feel cheated this week.
I think the effort, you got what you deserved.
You did. I feel cheated out of an hour out of my life that I just got cheated out of.
Well, how about this? After this, I have to actually let the YouTube video play because I did not hit record on the other, so I got to record it from YouTube.
Way to go, you fucking idiot!
Good thing we recorded on two different things though, because that would have really been disappointing. Who else I had on my list? I had Patrick Swayze, who
Roadhouse.
Yeah, you got Roadhouse. You got
Did you ever see that Family Guy? Whenever he sees Roadhouse and then he roundhouse kicks everyone in the movie or the cartoon.
Yeah.
So
Roadhouse. Patrick Swayze, he Ghost. He's had some legendary roles. I also had Ryan Reynolds. I mean,
yeah, but what would you say? What would you say Patrick Swayze's best role ever was?
Oh, without a doubt, when he played Bodhi in.
I figured. Yeah, 100%, maybe 110%. Oh shit! So then you had who else did you have?
Jeremy Piven.
You had Jeremy Piven on your list?
I did.
Really? Why?
I don't know. His name popped in my head while I was writing my list down. I was like,
he's a terrible actor.
Yeah, he is.
He plays himself and everything.
He was. You know what? Where he didn't play himself and he did a good job when he played George on Seinfeld, on the actual Jerry sitcom that they were producing.
Oh, I've never seen that.
You never seen Seinfeld?
Wait, he didn't play George? Jeremy Piven didn't play George.
He played George's character on the Jerry sitcom.
Yeah, see, I haven't seen all of Seinfeld. I've seen Seinfeld, but I don't remember seeing that.
But he was also in PCU, which is a great movie.
It is, but he still plays himself.
Yeah. His role as Ari Gold was just amazing.
Yeah, I like that. But that's like still kind of like PCU. Like if PCU grew up and he's 40 years old now.
Yeah.
45. Yeah. But was that all yours?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's it.
Huh. Well, I had Christian Bale. That would have been a good Batman versus Batman argument. I didn't even think about that with Michael Keaton.
I almost put Christian Bale on my list because to me, I think
like the Machinist.
Him versus Daniel Day-Lewis is really the argument.
Like legit actors.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Like, I mean, he went down to like 120 pounds for the Machinist. Like literally starved himself to death. Then he comes back and plays Batman. He's like, I don't know, huge. And then he goes back down. He's like he really gets into it. He's another guy who probably you have to call him by his character's name around set, which would be so annoying.
Oh, good for you.
Fuck you. Well, yeah, the lighting guy. He like screamed at the lighting guy.
Oh, you got to look at your lights. Oh, good for you.
So then I also had Clint Eastwood, and I mean he's been in some good movies. Like Unforgiven is maybe one of the greatest movies of all time. But he's been in a lot of Western movies. I love Clint Eastwood, but he's playing the same character in all those Western movies. I hate to say that about him, but it's true. I had Robert Downey Jr. Did you know he actually got nominated for an Oscar for Tropic Thunder?
Dude, Tropic Thunder is one of the greatest movies of all time.
It is. It really is.
It's very funny.
It's so far under the radar, it bores me.
Well, I think the whole, not to be like political, but I think the whole blackface thing pushes it out of, like, people don't want to put that out there anymore. Like, that's an obvious joke. I think all black people have seen it would think it was funny, not making fun of them. But it's just like, now we're so PC, we cannot have that movie.
You mean you people?
You people. You people cannot have this movie.
What do you mean, you people?
And it's a star-studded cast too. Danny McBride, Jack Black,
Ben Stiller.
And the list is long.
Yeah. I went and watched it in the movie theater. Okay, in the beginning of that movie is that like booty sweat commercial, and for the
Yeah.
first like 30 seconds of it, I thought it was just the movie commercial because that's the way they set it up, and it legit was like the crazy. I mean, I was like, what in the fuck kind of products are we selling at this movie theater? But
I think the whole concept and the layout of that movie, I think, is brilliant.
Yeah.
it really is.
In a weird, funny way. Let's end with this question. Did you get through all of this there, Adam?
Well, I had my last one was Emilio Estevez. He was in Young Guns, Mighty Ducks. I think maybe you guys have heard of it, and The Breakfast Club.
Oh, and don't forget Men at Work, who I
Yeah.
almost put his co-star and brother Charlie Sheen on my list.
Well, he was Rick the Wild Thing Vaughn, I believe.
Yeah, he was.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
let's end with this question. I'm going to ask you both this question, and this is not up for debate. I don't want you guys to argue this or anything. I just simply want you to both tell me who is in your mind, your favorite actor of all time. In all seriousness, you don't have to argue for it or against it. Who is your favorite actor of all time, and maybe a couple of reasons why? So, Adam, since you won tonight, you can go ahead and go first. Who's your favorite actor of all time?
Okay, I love Clint Eastwood, and I would say maybe back in the day, I would say he was my favorite actor. Like, I love his movies, but I'll be honest with you. If you want to go and watch a log of great movies, because the guy knows how to pick them and he's a good actor in them, you got to watch Leonardo DiCaprio. And I know that's probably not the most popular choice because I think he gets kind of a bad rap because he's kind of a playboy and like whatever. But like Inception, Blood Diamond, The Departed, Wolf of Wall Street. I mean, I even like Titanic. When I see it's on, I watch it. So The Aviator. He is an actor who can pick movies. He always is in. He won't let you down if he's in a movie. Like even Catch Me If You Can. Is that what it was called? Where he's like he plays the true story about the guy who was a counterfeiter and he was being chased by the FBI. And I mean that's actually a really good movie and it's a true story too. But I mean he's really good in that movie too. It's like he always seems to pick good movies, which I can respect like that.
I agree with you there. He is definitely a great actor and he plays some great roles. The Reverend. Did you guys see The Reverend?
Mm-hmm.
I have not.
I like that movie a lot.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Nick, before you answer who your favorite actor is, I was surprised. It kind of popped up to me a little bit ago. I'm surprised nobody said Brad Pitt. I know he kind of along the same lines of Leonardo DiCaprio gets bad rep for being, the sexiest man alive or whatever. He's actually a really good actor.
Mm-hmm. Like Lieutenant Aldo Rain in Inglourious Bastards. I mean, that's a great role, and that's not a typical character for him. That's not like his cookie cutter role. That's just a good character, good job acting.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right, Nick. What do you favorite?
I would say legitimately, I would go with Michael Keaton or Christian Bale. I mean, to me, whenever they're in a movie, I always give it a chance, and B, always expect it to be good.
Yeah.
Like The Founder, like when I talked about The Founder when I argued for Michael Keaton, is legitimately a very good movie. I mean, the story of how McDonald's came to be is fascinating, and he does a great job doing it. I grew up a Batman fan, and I still say he was the best Batman. So he played that role the best. Multiplicity, very funny. I was a big Beetlejuice fan. So yeah, I got to go with Michael Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
So my challenge,
Christian Bale, you got American Psycho and The Machinist, and his Batman movies were great. Although I didn't like the actual half of the Batman Bruce Wayne character. I didn't like the Batman half, but his Bruce Wayne was the best.
Well, he goes from like the Machinist, the Batman, big getting all bulked up, then goes back down to a crackhead in The Fighter. And I mean, he's really good in that movie too. Then back to Batman. So I mean, he's like he's really a good actor as far as getting into a character. He's not going to half-ass it if he signs on for a role.
No.
So,
Yeah.
All right, guys. Challenge for this upcoming week is, Adam, I would challenge you to please watch Multiplicity. You will not regret it.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that. What if it's on Netflix?
Probably not. Probably have to watch it on YouTube through a VHS channel or something like that.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
All right, people, check us out.
I drew you, Nick.
Oh, dude, just like him. Don't forget Kelly Digital on iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher. Also, we have a website coming out. Nick, what's the website? I don't even know yet.
KellyDigitalPodcast.com.
KellyDigitalPodcast.com. Check it out, you bunch of freaks, and we will see you next week. Adios, amigos.